This day in history, 12th of March. Liza Minnelli, born March 12, 1946, Hollywood, California, U.S. American actress and singer, perhaps best known for her role as Sally Bowles in Bob Fosse's classic musical film Cabaret, 1972. Liza May Minnelli is an American actress, singer, dancer, and choreographer. Known for her commanding stage presence and powerful alto singing voice, Minnelli is one of the very few performers awarded a non-competitive Emmy, Grammy, Grammy Legend Award, and Oscar. Minnelli is a Knight of the French Legion of Honor. Daughter of actress and singer Judy Garland and director Vincente Minnelli, Minnelli was born in Los Angeles, spent part of her childhood in Scarsdale, New York, and moved to New York City in 1961, where she began her career as a musical theater actress, nightclub performer, and traditional pop music artist. She made her professional stage debut in the 1963 off-Broadway revival of Best Foot Forward and received the Tony Award for Best Actress in a Musical for starring in Flora the Red Menace in 1965, which marked the start of her lifelong collaboration with John Kander and Fred Ebb. They wrote, produced, or directed many of Minnelli's future stage acts and television series and helped create her stage persona of a stylized survivor, including her career-defining performances of anthems of survival New York Cabaret and Maybe This Time. Along with her roles on stage and screen, this persona and her style of performance contributed to Minnelli's status as an enduring icon. An acclaimed performance in the drama film The Sterile Cuckoo, 1969, marked a film breakthrough for Minnelli and brought her a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actress. She later received the award for her performance as Sally Bowles in the musical film Cabaret, 1972, which brought her to international prominence. Most of her following films, including Lucky Lady, 1975, New York 1977, Rent-A-Cop 1988, and Stepping Out 1991 were not as successful, aside from the major box office hit and critically lauded Arthur, 1981, which starred Minnelli. She was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy for Lucky Lady, New York, and Arthur. She returned to Broadway on several occasions, including the Act 1977, for which she received her second Tony Award, as well as the Rink 1984 and Liza's at the Palace. 2008. Minnelli has also worked on various television formats, and has predominantly focused on music hall and nightclub performances since the late 1970s. Her concert performances at Carnegie Hall in 1979 and 1987 and at Radio City Music Hall in 1991 and 1992 are recognized among her most successful. From 1988 to 1990, she toured with Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr. In Frank, Liza and Sammy. The Ultimate Event. While Minnelli is known for her renditions of American standards, her early 1960s pop singles were produced to attract a young audience. Her albums from 1968 to 1977 contained contemporary singer-songwriter material. In 1989, she ventured into the contemporary pop scene by collaborating with the Pet Shop Boys on the album Results. After a hiatus due to serious health problems, Minnelli returned to the concert stage in 2002 with Liza's Back and recurred as a guest star on the sitcom Arrested Development between 2003 and 2013. Since the 2010s, she has avoided huge concert performances in favor of small retrospective performances. This day in history, 12th of March. This day in history, 13th of March. Charles Bonnet, born March 13, 1720, in Geneva, Switzerland, died May 20, 1793, near Geneva, was a Swiss naturalist and philosophical writer who discovered parthenogenesis, reproduction without fertilization, and developed the catastrophe theory of evolution. He is responsible for coining the term phyllotaxis to describe the arrangement of leaves on a plant. He was among the first to notice parthenogenetic reproduction in aphids and established that insects respired through their spiracles. He was among the first to use the term evolution in a biological context. Deaf from an early age, he also suffered from failing eyesight and had to make use of assistants in later life to help in his research. Bonnet was born in Geneva, the the son of Pierre Bonnet and Anne-Marie Lullin de Chateauvivier. Although originally from France, the family had been driven into Geneva by religious persecution of Protestants in the 16th century. At age 7 he lost his hearing, which pushed him into an interest in the natural world. His schoolmates troubled him due to his hearing handicap, and the parents took him out and had a private tutor. Bonnet seems never to have left the Geneva region and does not appear to have taken any part in public affairs except for the period between 1752 and 1768, during which he was a member of the Council of the Republic. For the last 25 years of his life, he spent quietly in the country, at Genthod, near Geneva, where he died after a long and painful illness on May 20, 1793. His wife was a lady of the family of de la Rive. They had no children, but Madame Bonnet's nephew, the celebrated Horace Benedict de Saussure, was brought up as their son. Bonnet made law his profession, but his favorite pursuit was the study of natural science. The account of the antlion in Noël Antoine Pluche's Spectacle de la Nature, which he read in his 16th year, turned his attention to insect life. He procured R.F. de Réaumur's work on insects, and with the help of live specimens succeeded in adding many observations to those of Réaumur and Pluche. In 1740, Bonnet communicated to the Academy of Sciences a paper containing a series of experiments establishing what is now termed parthenogenesis in aphids, or tree lice, which obtained for him the honor of being admitted as the youngest corresponding member of the Academy. During that year he had been in correspondence with his uncle Abraham Tremblay, who had recently discovered the hydra. This little creature became the hit of all the salons across Europe once philosophers and natural scientists saw its amazing regenerative capabilities. In 1741, Bonnet began to study reproduction by fusion and the regeneration of lost parts in the freshwater hydra and other animals, and in the following year, he discovered that the respiration of caterpillars and butterflies is performed by pores, to which the name spiracles has since been given. In 1743, he was admitted a Fellow of the Royal Society, and in the same year, he became a Doctor of Laws, his last act in connection with a profession which had ever been distasteful to him. In 1753, he was elected a foreign member of the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences, and on December 15, 1769, a foreign member of the Royal Danish Academy of Sciences and Letters. This day in history, 13th of March. This day in history, 14th of March. Michael Caine, born March 14, 1933, in London, England, internationally successful British actor renowned for his versatility in numerous leading and character roles. He appeared in more than 100 films, and his amiable Cockney persona was usually present in each performance. Sir Michael Caine C.B., born Maurice Joseph Micklewhite, is an English retired actor. Known for his distinctive Cockney accent, he has appeared in more than 160 films over a career spanning 8 decades and is considered a British film icon. He has received numerous awards, including 2 Academy Awards, a BAFTA Award, 3 Golden Globe Awards, and a Screen Actors Guild Award. As of 2017, the films in which Caine has appeared have grossed over $7.8 billion worldwide. Caine is one of only 5 male actors to be nominated for an Academy Award for acting in 5 different decades. In 2000, he received a BAFTA Fellowship and was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II. Often playing a Cockney, Caine made his breakthrough in the 1960s with starring roles in British films such as Zulu, 1964, The Ipcress File, 1965, The Italian Job, 1969, and Battle of Britain, 1969. During this time he established a distinctive visual style, wearing thick horn-rimmed glasses combined with sharp suits and a laconic vocal delivery. He was recognized as a style icon of the 1960s. He solidified his stardom with roles in Get Carter, 1971, The Last Valley, 1971, The Man Who Would Be King, 1975, The Eagle Has Landed, 1976, and A Bridge Too Far, 1977. Caine received 2 Academy Awards for Best Supporting Actor for his roles as Elliot in Woody Allen's comedy Hannah and Her Sisters, 1986, and as Dr. Wilbur Larch in Lasse Hallström's drama The Cider House Rules, 1999. His other Oscar-nominated films include Alfie, 1966, Sleuth, 1972, Educating Rita, 1983, and The Quiet American, 2002. Other notable performances include in the films California Suite, 1978, Dressed to Kill, 1980, Mona Lisa, 1986, Little Voice, 1998, Quills, 2000, Children of Men, 2006, Harry Brown, 2009, and Youth, 2015. Caine is also known for his performance as Ebenezer Scrooge in The Muppet Christmas Carol, 1992, and for his comedic roles in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, 1988, Miss Congeniality, 2000, Austin Powers and Goldmember, 2002, and Second-Hand Lions, 2003. Caine portrayed Alfred Pennyworth in Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, 2005 to 2012. He has also had roles in 5 other Nolan films: The Prestige, 2006, Inception, 2010, Interstellar, 2014, Dunkirk, 2017, and Tenet, 2020. He announced his retirement from acting in October 2023, with his final film being The Great Escaper, which came out in the same month. This Day in History, 14th of March. This Day in History, 14th of March. Amir Khan, born March 14, 1965, in Bombay, now Mumbai, India, Indian film actor who is known for his consistent performances and intelligent choice of scripts. Muhammad Amir Hussain Khan is an Indian actor, producer, filmmaker, and television personality who works in Hindi films. Referred to in the media as Mr. Perfectionist throughout his career spanning over 30 years, Khan has established himself as one of the most notable actors in Indian cinema. Khan is the recipient of numerous awards, including 9 Filmfare Awards, 4 National Film Awards, and an ACTA Award, with one of his film productions also receiving an Academy Award nomination. He was honored by the Government of India with the Padma Shri in 2003 and the Padma Bhushan in 2010, and received an honorary title from the Government of China in 2017. Amir Khan first appeared on screen as a child actor in his uncle Nasir Hussain's film Yadan Ki Barat, 1973. As an adult, his first feature film role was in Holi, 1984. He began a full-time acting career with a leading role in Kayamat Se Kayamat Tak, 1988. His performance in Rock, 1989, earned him a National Film Award in the Special Mention category. He established himself as a leading actor in the 1990s by appearing in several commercially successful films, including Dil, 1990, Rangila, 1995, Raja Hindustani, 1996, for which he won his first Filmfare Award for Best Actor, and Sarfaraz, 1999. In 1999, he founded Amir Khan Productions, whose first film, Lagan, 2001, was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film, and earned him a National Film Award for Best Popular Film, and 2 more Filmfare Awards, Best Actor and Best Film. His performance in Dil Chahta Hai, 2001, also received appreciation. After a 4-year hiatus, Khan returned to appear in leading roles, notably in Fana, 2006, and Rang de Basanti, 2006. He made his directorial debut with Ter Zameen Par, 2007, which won him the Filmfare Awards for Best Film and Best Director. Khan's biggest commercial successes came with Gajini, 2008, 3 Idiots, 2009, Doom 3, 2013, PK, 2014, and Dangal, 2016, each having held the record for being the highest-grossing Indian film. Khan won his 3rd Best Actor award at Filmfare for Dangal. He has a large following, especially in India and China, and has been described by Newsweek as the biggest movie star in the world. He has been regularly listed among the 500 most influential Muslims in the world. He also created and hosted the television talk show Satyamad Jayat. His work as a social reformer earned him an appearance on the Time 100 list of most influential people in the world in 2013. This Day in History, 14th of March. This Day in History, 15th of March. David Cronenberg, born March 15, 1943, in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, is a Canadian film director, screenwriter, and actor, best known for movies that employed elements of horror and science fiction to vividly explore the disturbing intersections between technology and the human body. David Paul Cronenberg is a principal originator of the body horror genre, with his films exploring visceral bodily transformation, infectious diseases, and the intertwining of the psychological, physical, and technological. Cronenberg is best known for exploring these themes through sci-fi horror films such as Shivers, 1975, Scanners, 1981, Videodrome, 1983, and The Fly, 1986, though he has also directed dramas, psychological thrillers, and gangster films. Cronenberg's films have polarized critics and audiences alike. He has earned critical acclaim and has sparked controversy for his depictions of gore and violence. The Village Voice called him the most audacious and challenging narrative director in the English-speaking world. His films have won numerous awards, including the Special Jury Prize for Crash at the 1996 Cannes Film Festival, a unique award that is distinct from the jury prize as it is not given annually, but only at the request of the official jury, who in this case gave the award for originality, for daring, and for audacity. From the 2000s to the 2020s, Cronenberg collaborated on several films with Viggo Mortensen, including A History of Violence, 2005, Eastern Promises, 2007, A Dangerous Method, 2011, and Crimes of the Future, 2022. 6 of his films were selected to compete for the Palme d'Or. The most recent being Crimes of the Future, which was screened at the 2022 Cannes Film Festival. This Day in History, 15th of March. This Day in History, 16th of March. Vladimir Mikhailovich Komarov, born March 16, 1927, in Moscow, Russia, USSR, died April 24, 1967, Kazakhstan, was a Soviet cosmonaut, the first man known to have died during a space mission. Vladimir Mikhailovich Komarov was a Soviet test pilot, aerospace engineer, and cosmonaut. In October 1964, he commanded Voskhod 1, the first spaceflight to carry more than one crew member. He became the first Soviet cosmonaut to fly in space twice when he was selected as the solo pilot of Soyuz 1, its first crewed test flight. A parachute failure caused his Soyuz capsule to crash into the ground after re-entry on April 24, 1967, making him the first human to die in a space flight. He was declared medically unfit for training or spaceflight twice while he was in the program, but continued playing an active role. During his time at the Cosmonaut Training Center, he contributed to space vehicle design, cosmonaut training, evaluation, and public relations. This Day in History, 16th of March. This Day in History, 16th of March. Walter Cunningham, born March 16, 1932, Creston, Iowa, U.S., died January 3, 2023, Houston, Texas, was an American astronaut and civilian participant in the Apollo 7 mission October 11 to 22, 1968, in which the first crewed flight of Apollo Command and Service modules was made. Cunningham enlisted in the U.S. Navy in 1951 and transferred to the Marine Corps, where he served as a fighter pilot, 1953 to 56. He majored in physics at the University of California, Los Angeles, receiving bachelor's, 1960, and master's, 1961, degrees but abandoning a doctoral program in favor of the crewed space project in 1963. He left the space program in 1971 and became a corporation executive. This Day in History, 16th of March. This Day in History, 17th of March. Nat King Cole, born March 17, 1919, in Montgomery, Alabama, U.S., died February 15, 1965, in Santa Monica, California. American musician hailed as one of the best and most influential pianists and small group leaders of the swing era. Cole attained his greatest commercial success as a vocalist specializing in warm ballads and light swing. Nathaniel Adams Coles, known professionally by his stage name Nat King Cole, was an American singer, jazz pianist, and actor. Cole's career as a jazz and pop vocalist started in the late 1930s and spanned almost 3 decades, where he found success and recorded over 100 songs that became hits on the pop charts. Cole started his career as a jazz pianist in the late 1930s when he formed the King Cole Trio, which became the top-selling group. His trio was the model for small jazz ensembles that followed. Starting in 1950, he transitioned to become a solo singer billed as Nat King Cole. Despite achieving mainstream success during his career, he faced intense racial discrimination. While not a major vocal public figure in the civil rights movement, Cole was a member of his local NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People branch, and participated in the 1963 March on Washington. He regularly performed for civil rights organizations. From 1956 to 1957, he hosted the NBC variety series The Nat King Cole Show, which became the first nationally broadcast television show hosted by an African American. Some of his most notable singles include Unforgettable, Smile When I Fall in Love, Let There Be Love, Mona Lisa, Autumn Leaves, Stardust, Straighten Up and Fly Right, The Very Thought of You, For Sentimental Reasons, Embraceable You, and Almost Like Being in Love. His 1960 Christmas album The Magic of Christmas, also known as The Christmas Song, is the best-selling Christmas album released in the 1960s and was ranked as one of the 40 essential Christmas albums, 2019, by Rolling Stone. In 2022, his recording of The Christmas Song broke the record for the longest journey to the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100, when it peaked at number 9, 62 years after it debuted on the chart, and was selected by the Library of Congress for preservation in the United States National Recording Registry. NPR named him one of the 50 Great Voices. He received numerous accolades, including a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, 1960, and a Special Achievement Golden Globe Award posthumously. Cole has received the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, 1990, along with the Sammy Cahn Lifetime Achievement Award, 1992, and has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, 2000, and the National Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame, 2020. He was the father of singer Natalie Cole, 1950 to 2015, who covered her father's songs in the 1991 album Unforgettable. With Love. This Day in History 17th of March. This Day in History 18th of March. Ludwig Gutmann, born July 3, 1899, Tost, Germany, now Tosak, Poland, died March 18, 1980, Aylesbury, Buckinghamshire, England, German-born English neurosurgeon who was the founder of the Paralympic Games. Sir Ludwig Gutmann CB was a German-British neurologist who established the Stoke Mandeville Games, the sporting event for people with disabilities that evolved in England into the Paralympic Games. A Jewish doctor who fled Nazi Germany just before the start of the Second World War. Gutmann was a founding father of organized physical activities for people with disabilities. Early life. He transferred to the University of Freiburg in 1919 and received his doctorate of medicine in 1924. Escape to the UK. With the arrival of the Nazis in power, Jews were banned from practicing medicine professionally. Gutmann was assigned to work at the Breslau Jewish Hospital, where he became medical director in 1937. Following the violent attacks on Jewish people and properties on the 9th of November 1938, Gutmann ordered his staff to admit any patients without question. In early 1939, Gutmann and his family left Germany because of the Nazi persecution of the Jews. An opportunity for escape had come when the Nazis provided him with a visa and ordered him to travel to Portugal to treat a friend of the Portuguese dictator Antonio de Oliveira Salazar. Gutmann was scheduled to return to Germany via London when the Council for Assisting Refugee Academics CARA arranged for him to remain in the United Kingdom. He arrived in Oxford, England, on the 14th of March 1939 with his wife, Else Samuel Gutmann, and their 2 children, a son, Dennis, and a daughter, Eva, aged 6. The CARA negotiated with the British Home Office on their behalf and gave Gutmann and his family £250 equivalent to £19,000 in 2024 to help settle in Oxford. Gutman continued his spinal injury research at the Nuffield Department of Neurosurgery in the Radcliffe Infirmary. For the first few weeks after arrival, the family resided in the Master's Lodge of Balliol College with Master Sandy Lindsay until they moved into a small semi-detached house on Lonsdale Road. Both children were offered free places by the headmistress of Greycoats School. The family were members of the Oxford Jewish community, and Eva remembers becoming friendly with Miriam Margolyes, now a famous actress. The Jewish community in Oxford was growing rapidly as a result of the influx of displaced academic Jews from Europe. With the outbreak of the Second World War, Gutman and his family stayed in the home of Lord Lindsay, CARA councillor and master of Balliol College. Stoke Mandeville and Paralympic Games. In September 1943, the British government asked Gutman to establish the National Spinal Injuries Centre at Stoke Mandeville Hospital in Buckinghamshire. The initiative came from the Royal Air Force to ensure the treatment and rehabilitation of pilots with spine injuries who often crashed on approach with their bombers damaged. When the centre opened on February 1, 1944, the United Kingdom's first specialist unit for treating spinal injuries, Gutman was appointed its director, a position he held until 1966. He believed that sport was an important method of therapy for the rehabilitation of injured military personnel, helping them build up physical strength and self-respect. Gutman became a naturalized British citizen in 1945. He organized the first Stoke Mandeville Games for disabled war veterans, which was held at the hospital on July 29, 1948, the same day as the opening of the London Olympics. All participants had spinal cord injuries and competed in wheelchairs. To encourage his patients to take part in national events, Gutman used the term Paraplegic Games. These came to be known as the Paralympic Games, which grew to include other disabilities. His vision of international games, the equivalent of the Olympic Games themselves, was realized in 1960 when the International Stoke Mandeville Games were held alongside the official 1960 Summer Olympics in Rome. Known at the time as the 9th Annual International Stoke Mandeville Games, and organized with the support of the World Federation of Ex-Servicemen and International Working Group on Sport for the Disabled, they are now recognized as the first Paralympic Games. The term Paralympic Games was retroactively applied by the IOC in 1984. In 1961, Gutman founded the British Sports Association for the Disabled, which would later become known as the English Federation of Disability Sport. Later, Gutman was appointed Officer of the Order of the British Empire (OB) in the 1950 King's Birthday Honours, as the neurological surgeon in charge of the Spinal Injuries Centre at the Ministry of Pensions Hospital, Stoke Mandeville. On 28 June 1957, he was made an Associate Officer of the Venerable Order of St. John. He was promoted to Commander of the Order of the British Empire (CB) in 1960, and he was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II in 1966. In 1961, Gutman founded the International Medical Society of Paraplegia, now the International Spinal Cord Society. He was the inaugural president of the society, a position that he held until 1970. He became the first editor of the journal, Paraplegia, now named Spinal Cord. He retired from clinical work in 1966 but continued his involvement with sport. Gutman had a heart attack in October 1979 and died on March 18, 1980 at the age of 80. This day in history, 18th of March,